Yo, it's the mayor. Man, I know. And I ain't break my promise to y'all. Part two of my history, on history, in history, on when gang banging hit the South. And it's gonna be entertaining, eye-catching, informative video. So, I got a little more work to do. I got a little more talking to do. I gotta get a couple more people on board. So, I got one. But today I'm gonna share with y'all, man, a high school memory, man. I'm sorry, I ain't got to the part of, jail and all that. I know that's what people want to hear about. But I want to take y'all back to, you know, a version of high school on how it was in the South. Well, far as it in Birmingham, you had schools that was in the city district, not the county, that were deemed, you looked at like, you had some people that didn't want to graduate from middle school to go to some of these high schools. You had people that, you know, what's popular, who popular, what popular for is gangs at this school because they were scary. It was a saying back in the day, ain't no changing over, ain't no switching up, switching from, blood to crip to disciples slash GD, none of that. So, uh, middle school over. Everybody know where they going. They graduated to high school, blah, blah, blah. During this school, at this school, we call Hayes. At this time, it was a middle school. Through time, they took it back to a high school to what it was before it became middle school. But this time when I'm going, it's a middle school. So at this time, GDs had the number. You know, and at that time, what I'm saying, I was still active, an active member. So, we going through school, this, that, and that. You have the normal workers from in the morning when you come, you get to school at 7, and then you in the gym till 7:30. Or you get to school from 7 to 7:30 or whatever, where school started at 8. You go in the gym until the bell ring and you go to your respective homeroom. We were, GDs were the biggest number at middle school. At this middle school I was at, called Hayes. So you got this, that, and this, basically just saying the number was high. So time go on, school go on, boom, boom, boom. It's graduation time. You either go into Woodlawn, if you had different areas that went to Hayes. We had the South Side, Southtown. You had Inglenook. You had East Birmingham. You had Woodlawn. You had Kingston. You had Gay City. Well, you didn't have Gay City. Gay City had their own school. But mainly Avondale, Kingston, East Birmingham. Inglenook had I don't think Inglenook didn't have no middle school. If I'm wrong, I apologize because I'm not from Inglenook, but I know about Inglenook area. So school graduated, everybody got the summer before they go to high school. You got people everybody that you leave school knowing they this, they GDs, they Bloods, they this, they this. Guess what the biggest turnover rate was at that time? People crossing over from Crips to Bloods, GD to Bloods. The biggest turnover in my eyes at that time. I ain't gonna say the biggest turnover, but I'm gonna say some people who were stomped down in middle school, shake your hand, shake up with you 1,000 times with some of those people that next thing you know, you get to high school in the 9th grade, oh, you ain't GD no more, you Blood. And that wasn't an option for me. It wasn't an option, it was a thought, but how they put Woodlawn at that time, it was predominantly Bloods. They was the deepest. It what it was. So, my first couple of weeks there, I got tried, tested or whatever you want to, hard checked or whatever you wanted to call it. Ain't no bending, ain't no folding, it is what it is. You used to have people walk up to you and, to check with you, see what you is and see if you gonna bend and fold. Have people walk up to you and be like, what up, blood? And you ain't sitting there, you can sit a week. They finna smash. Or they'll be like, what up, relative? If you ain't do nothing, you gonna smash. I wasn't the one that hit me. You blood me, I'm a kinfolk you. You know what I'm saying? What up, blood? What up, kinfolk? You know what I'm saying? And 95% of the time, it didn't go further than that. I didn't even had people that, like, I was in the 9th grade, that was in the 11th, 12th grade, and came back to me and just said, man, I was just seeing if you go represent. I ain't got no problem with G's. I ain't did this. It's just so many of them watered down. Some of it, the number, was what it was. But believe it or not, as time went on, I come to find out. Because when I got there, like I said, through high school, through life, I was just a quiet guy. I'm observed. I ain't going to do too much talking. Even my teacher, if you call my name, if you wasn't looking up, you would mark me absent because I wouldn't go open my mouth. I throw my hand up, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell y'all about this story because one of my closest friends, still to this day, my brother, was a blood. Well, they said Pyru, Bloods, Treetops, all that ain't the same. But you know what I'm saying? He was Pyru. So time go on, time go on. We bonded over the summer through a mutual person, and that mutual person at that time was GD. So we grew, to be real close friends over something other than colors. We didn't put the color thing in the mix. It was about money. So one day, fast forward a little bit, we get in the 10th grade. After you got tried, they had the freshman day where they jump on you or whatever. I didn't get jumped on. I didn't right hand, you know what I'm saying, to the most high. I didn't get jumped on. I had the guy, I had watched the guy whoop one or two little dudes down on this end of the hall, and I'm in the middle by the trophy case, and these older guys walk past and look at me and keep on going, and catch somebody coming out the lunchroom and do them in, put them in the garbage can, you know what I'm saying? I'm letting y'all know, and I'm gonna get back on the story. This school here, if we had how you have, what they call them, like pep rallies or something like that, or announcement where they had all the students come to the auditorium or whatever. We had 3 floors. The bottom floor was the floor where the lunchroom was. The second floor was the main floor where the principal office and all that was. Then you had the top floor, the 3rd floor. The 2nd and 3rd floor was your way into the auditorium. The balconies usually be, blood, all the blood set up there. The 2nd floor is mixed between Crips and GDs. GDs sat in the middle to the back, the Crips would be up front. But back to the story. Fast forward, it's already was hatred because of my partner, who was something other than what me and my other partner was. They grew this hatred because we stuck together. He went and turned his back on us and stopped messing with us because he was something other than what we was, and we weren't gonna stop messing with him because he was something other than what we was, affiliated with what we was. So, the guys, the I ain't gonna tell you no story. The Bloods at the time couldn't stand me and our other partner, Ray. Ray, and my guy, me. Still my brother to this day. We still kick it to this day, you know what I'm saying? Even Ray, I still, check on him today. His mama, I always love her, man. She was there for me in a time where I was in my rebellious stage and I ran away from home, but how can you run away from home when you got your own car at age 14? You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy, you know, because at that time I was too young to have a car in my name, quote unquote. So it stayed in my mama's name. So her way of trying to contain me was to take my car. So this particular time I wouldn't let her take it. I was like, you get it back, you know, blah, this speak, we gonna get into that. But so picture day come. So we don't keep up with all that, you know, Valentine's Day, buy roses and send them to who you want to send them to. We didn't keep up with all that. We got those things, you know, and I used to sit up and watch my homeboys, man, you know, get in trouble for having roses. Who these roses from the girls they dealing with, you know what I'm saying, at the time or whatnot, you know. But one day, man, we find out we having pitch day early in the morning. We come through. We used to always come from the backside of school and go across the front. Cause I had beat in my car. Then it painted, you know what I'm saying, beat. So they knew we were finna pull up. By the time we get to the front of school, you got a whole line of people flagging, trying to flag us down. We finna slide through here, you know, make our debut, go up to McDonald's and get us some breakfast or wherever we gonna get us something to eat from and pull off. You know, in between these times, you know, my partner and them, hey, we finna skip school today. Who they know they didn't, hey, I'm gonna take over with me, I'm gonna take over with me, I'm gonna take over with me. You know, the one I'm just like, man, I'm just driving, you know, I was the laid back guy, you know, I got a name because of how my homeboy was. They were ladies men, you know, you had one that sat back and, you know, that girls just were attracted to. He didn't do too much talking. I was the quiet. And you had one that was a go-getter. You know what I'm saying? He go pull up on him, he go shoot his game. You know what I'm saying? Tell you a story, quick story, man. I remember one day we skipped school and went over his house. And how we got caught, cause a girl a piece of weed dropped out of her hair on the steps and we didn't see it. So we get home, I'm staying with them at the time. We get home and my dudes, you know, they asked us, y'all been to school? Like, yes, ma'am. And she mainly asking her son, Ray, you know, I said, y'all been to school? Yeah, we been to school. Y'all ain't been here? You know, no man, we ain't been here. Well, who had this? Cause ain't nobody, you know, she pulled out of braid. You know how girls get their braid, the Janet Jackson braid. Now one of them was on. So who had this? So we, you know, got caught up. We done got caught up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so we picture date. So we find out coming through making our pass in the morning. Yeah, today picture day, boo boo boo. So we like, shit, we gotta run to the mall right quick. The mall didn't open up till 8 o'clock. Y'all look up Central Plaza Mall in Birmingham, Alabama. That was one of the biggest malls in the nation. In the nation. Not the state, the nation. I think it was opened in like 1974. I think they closed it in 2000 and something, but if that mall is still here right now, you know, it'll still be popping. But a lot of things happen in that mall. A lot of brawls, a lot of shootings. Not a lot of shootings, but you know, people that got shot in that mall. A lot of people got beat up in that mall. They jumped on, especially in the area. It was a area where McDonald's was and the game room was right next door. So you know, and like I said, this time gang banging at its highest. So you know, so we shoot to the mall to grab us some outfits. So we go in there like, bam, we go get these Adidas snatch out suits. It was the whole Adidas snatch out suit, but they had the buttons. You could snatch them off and have your clothes up under. So we all go with that. We had the shed, matching shell toes. I had the black and white one with the black and white shell toes. Ray had the blue and white one with the blue and white shell toes. My partner Meek had the red and black one with the black and red, with the red and black shell toes, if I remember right. But I know for sure that what color the outfit was. I don't remember exactly which color scheme his shoes was or whatever, as y'all call colorways. But as we leaving, you know, you know what I'm saying, we supposed to be at school. It's after 8, the mall open, we ain't shopping. We gotta stop in the middle where they, sell the jewelry and the necklaces and the earrings and stuff at. Get us earrings, get them some earrings, you know what I'm saying? I got me a ring with a T in the middle, diamond cut with the T in the middle. Other partner, he get him some, half a carat, earrings, you know what I'm saying? We already had chains, shit. I think my partner me had 2 chains. Two of them, he was 2 chain before it was 2 chain, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show y'all these pictures to show y'all I ain't lying. I ain't lying. But as we leave out the mall, so we see go through another little clothing store. So this the design, so this when FUBU was the thing. They got some I think it was Azad. My other partner got a polo shirt and I got a red monkey pullover and it had the zipper. You know what I'm saying? It was like a shirt but it had the zipper on it. It was red and white. The other partner's shirt was red. It was red and black. Red with I think the black sleeves and the polo one, I think my other partner had the polo one that was red, you know what I'm saying, with the polo on if I'm mistaken. We'll see when I show y'all that picture. But man, so we go to school, they telling us, nah, y'all can't have that. We were like, well, we just, go ahead this on and take our picture. They were like, all right, as soon as y'all take them pictures, they were strict, because, it was anything dealing with a gang, they didn't want you to wear it. You couldn't even wear a red, like, this uniform shirt could be white or black, you know what I'm saying? You could either wear khaki or black or a navy blue pants. You couldn't even wear navy blue shirts. You just had to wear white or black. But people used to wear a red t-shirt up under their shirts or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They stopped us from doing that. So we convinced the principal that we just doing this for the picture or whatever. So we changed our whole little wardrobe up. But the picture from like the waist up, So one of my partners taller than both of us. So the man and, everybody else just coming in there, they sit there, chicka, all right, going on, chicka, going on. He see us and he like, he didn't do us like that. He kept moving us around, So he ended up the one that's sitting down in the seat. The picture I'm gonna show y'all is the taller one that my partner meet. So he had him sit down, had me on one side with my hand up, with the ring on. And then, he sitting there with his ring up like this with his rings on. And then he had our other, homeboy, kind of turned to the side with his arm crossed. With his, he loved it, No Limit. I think he had a No Limit tank chain on at the time, real No Limit gold, real No Limit charm with a rope on it and a bulldog. He might have had the bulldog one on. Now this 24 karat gold time. This ain't no 10 karat. This 24 karat gold. And I had on I used to call it Tupac. I had a hair bond on that was like an inch thick. You know what I'm saying? So we take the picture, man. And I wonder why that man kept, he took about 8 pictures of us, right? But this was the time where you took your pictures, you didn't know what they looked like till you got them back. So we going to school time, we ain't thinking nothing about it. We paid for our pictures, to get all sizes. And they were like, the pictures came today, so we go and pick up our pictures from the office or wherever we pick them up from. So I'm like, okay, well, cool. This the middle of the day. By the time we get ready to leave, we meet up. Oh, hey, well, I might say, man, we'll meet at. Meet down here. I go and meet up with my partner. Man, what Red? Oh, Ray over there in the gym. This is an actual story. He over there in the gym, playing cards. So I go in the boy's gym. He on the bench right there as soon as you come in the door, gambling. It's him and his cousin, one of his girl cousins. I ain't gonna call her name. So he was like, hey, bro, give my cousin one of your pictures, man. I gave all mine out, man. I'm gonna keep the. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm gonna take these to my folk. From just like that, it went from that to him talking crazy to me, calling my name. I'm like, damn, bro, how you gonna get mad at me over my stuff? You know what I'm saying? That's your fault. You did that. So we having an argument. The bell done ring. It's time for us to go. So we having, so the words we having are so intense that it's about to go there. Me and him about to fight. This is how I felt, and I'm pretty sure this is how he felt because this is how he was talking. In my mind, I take what you said. That's what you feel like doing. So right when we get close enough to each other, to what like what's up? You know what I'm saying? Type, it's finna go down. A partner of ours that knew all that, we call his name, respect to you, Fathead, we call him Fathead, named Arthur Crenshaw. We used to call him AC. And we used to call him Fathead. And he affiliated with the same thing bro affiliated with. He ain't affiliated with us, so it wouldn't have been no thing for him to let us do our thing because we ain't with they. But he was such a real young man, and mind you, we 15 at this age. He's like, man, hey, no, cut that woo woo. But he knew our history and how we homeboy. He said, man, y'all be together every day, man. Y'all every day y'all be together, man. Y'all, this ain't gonna happen. If y'all go fight everybody, we fighting everybody fighting. I'm fighting too. So he like, you know what I'm saying? He came on that, pulled up to the guy in the middle of it, and said, hey, he said, look around, just look around. And me, I'm like, I'm looking around. He said, look, did what they want to see. Look at them, man. Y'all ain't, this ain't going down. If y'all fighting, I'm fighting, man. Y'all supposed to be home, boy. Did. Man, I caught the missing engine. I don't know if bro caught the engine. He said, man, y'all need to kill that, man. Y'all need to shake hand, hug, man, and kill that. Y'all supposed to be brothers. And when we did that, mine was genuine. I don't know, we should brush his man out. So I said it was genuine, but I know mine was genuine. But I know my brother at the same time. He was prideful. Because ain't no way in the world I would have came to him if that would have been me needing a picture. I would have actually did it. Maybe feeling would hurt. Maybe it was. I can understand that too. Because we didn't tell each other no. We could be in the lunchroom. Hey, bro, give me $100. Or bro, give me change for, or when we go to the mall, bro, let me buy $300 till I get back to the house. Let me buy $500 till I get back. And we did that because we knew we looked out for each other like that. Everything we did at the time was together. You know what I'm saying? It ain't mine, it's ours. We looked out for each other like that. Day in, day out. Shit, if they weren't in the car with me, I'm in the car with them. If we weren't around each other, shit, the other one on the way. Ain't gonna be long for the other one to pull up. We was like that. And I thought about that, man. I had thoughts about that. Was like, well, bro, genuine? Or did bro speech, was his speech so righteous that it made him look at himself, or he didn't want to look like, he was on some petty time. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't do nothing wrong. Because I told him, no, I'm going to say these for my family, my folk. Because they didn't give you a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give us the film roll to get them. Like if we wanted to go, they usually give you the film roll. So if you wanted to go and get them printed, they didn't give us that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we shook it up. I drove, like I said, I drove, I had a car, my first car I bought when I was 14. And at this time, my car was in the shop, so my auntie, old man, had brung her a Cutlass to drive, a car to drive until, he got another car, but he bought her a 79 Cutlass. Now mind you, this like 94, you know what I'm saying? 94 going to 95. So I told it needed brake work, so I got it fixed. I said, auntie, if I get it fixed, can I drive it? You know what I'm saying? And then, because she didn't want to sell it to me, so I didn't have a car. I didn't want to ride the bus. So I was like, auntie, if I get it fixed, you'll let me drive it until, so, and get my money back. And when you get my money back, I get it. She was like, yeah. I took it straight up the street. The same day, got brakes did all the way around it. You know what I'm saying? I drove for about a month. So she tried to get me to I ain't gonna go off into that. But yeah, Auntie let me drive her car, you know what I'm saying? Drive the car, you know, her car. And that day, I ain't gonna lie, bro, finna have to, you know, his sister went there too. And the daddy, they daddy, rest his soul, Big Ray, he came up there to pick up his daughter. But that day, you know, if that hadn't happened, he finna have, you know, he got to ride home with Pop, you know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, but luckily, you know, thankfully things worked out. You know, we jumped in the car, left it alone, like ain't nothing happened. But I did kind of feel some kind of way because he called me out of the name. But, you know, his mama was such a good lady to me that, you know, I didn't hold that grudge like that. You know, that just always been a wondering thought. Was he genuine when he shook my hand? You know what I'm saying? Because I was genuine. You know, I didn't want that to happen no way, but at the same time, bro, you ain't finna little boy me for no reason, because I didn't do something you wanted to do. But, you know, thankfully, I can still say to this day, me and them ain't never laid hands on each other and nothing like that. You know, me and my partner, we ain't never argued about nothing. And plenty of money in exchange. I ain't, bro, loan me this, loan me that, loan me a couple of racks, or let me get this to this, you know. Man, them ain't never had no words about nothing. You know what I'm saying? But that just was a little story I wanted to share with y'all. I don't know if it, you know, but that was just one of the memories I had, man. You know, and the other thing was like them boys didn't like because he hung with us like that. He stood like we used to have a lot of problems with with the bloods up there at that time. I know I did. I can't speak for, you know, Ray. They didn't like us as a group, but especially separate, cause they knew I would go rough, he would go rough. You know, he ain't changed. You know, but they used to get mad. Damn, bro, you go against us for them? Boo boo. Like it ain't about that. It ain't about no color. These my dudes. You know what I'm saying? They weren't saying my brother, you know, back then. They were like, nah, we were saying these my partners. You know what I'm saying? That what it was, like brothers. You know what I'm saying? We went to his mama house, all of us and stayed over there. All of us and ate at this late table. You know what I'm saying? But we had a bond to each other outside of that because we never left each other out in there. If I go to the mall, if I'm going to the mall, whatever we doing, we going to see some females that they done met. We didn't never leave each other out. You know, half the time I didn't come the second time or third time when they met a new female because I was quiet. But it always came back to what they do there with the braids, the braids, yeah, the brown skin dude, where you at? You know what I'm saying? And I always end up back in the mix sometimes because they'll take somebody over there and they, you know, put on the show and they like, I don't like him, you know, what to do there with the Reaper, you know what I'm saying? What to do there with the braid, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's a flash through of like the things that went on up there at Woodline, man, you know. And a part of that, yeah, I did put a part of that how I was with the gang, you know, thing back at that time when I was active and off into that and serious about it, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about that, it was funny because, you know, I respected everything and I got that respect back. When certain situations jumped off, people from other affiliations used to come holler at me. Hey, bro, did that. And, you know, out of 10 times, we'll get, you know, 4 on spray. The other 6 times, you know, hands got to be laid, did that and this. Man, we stayed having real riots at that school. Like, if it was broke out, it's a fight on, you got some people fighting on the 3rd floor, 2nd floor, and the bottom floor. Sometimes one time, somebody got threw off the 2nd floor to the bottom floor. You know, burning garbage cans, throwing them out. It was treacherous. It was time that when the program ended, there were some programs and some pet rallies. It was already something that didn't happen between this affiliation and this affiliation. We knew we grouped together. Okay, when we leave out here, for it's okay. Everybody, when the bell ring, go back to such class. We popped that. When this bell ring, we popped it off. Man, it was time that we didn't even make it out of the auditorium. Or when we make it out of the auditorium to the hallway, it's a fight going on over here, fight going over here, fight right in front of you, or you fighting. Because Woodlawn, if you do the history, Woodlawn Magnet High School was a big school. It was like a 4-5 part school. You had the main building, you had the girls' gym, you had the ROTC building, you had the stadium in the back, you had the young mothers building, you had the building called the new building, and then you had the boys' gym. You know, we had an alleyway in between the stadium and the main building. That school was a big school then, and they had a lot of students from everywhere, from every kind of neighborhood, from East Lake, the Gay City, the Woodlawn, the Inglenook, the Southtown, the East Birmingham, to Kingston. You know, I think I said Avondale. You know, then you had people coming in from out of town, like from Chicago, New York. You know, their family came back or sent their children here, you know, or moved them from out of town to get away from what was going on, you know. So it was, we had a classroom with 40 plus in each classroom, you know. But that was just one of my little quick little, you know, reminiscent moments, man. You know, on how it was, man. Them boys couldn't stand that, bro. This with us over them. He still was him and he acknowledged them, but when it came down to us, hey, nah, I'm gonna cut that part out. These my dudes, you know. It ain't no, you know. He stood with us, you know. But there was some fun days, man. If I could do it again, I ain't gonna lie, I'd do it again. You didn't have to worry about nobody putting in no tool and wasn't no switches and all that back then, and when nobody putting no, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? You might get a room or whatever here and there. Somebody got caught with a you know a gun in their locker or something like that. But that was rare. That was rare. If anything, you had to worry about somebody ganking you, you know, selling you a fake necklace or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but trouble from the end of that, if you want somebody that was respected or cool with everybody, you finna have to get down. I forgot Cross Tent. Yeah, Cross Tent, you know, that school there, you know, a lot of neighborhoods factored in was on to that school, you know. But yeah, man, that was just one of my quick little stories, man. I hope y'all enjoy it, man. Got some more to come. This is just a fill in until I get the chance to sit down with my big homie, man, on the part 2, on, you know, my history, in history, on when gangs came to the South. I had to go before me. You know, I had to talk to somebody there before me, you know what I'm saying, to give more insight than what I knew, you know, and what I was told and what I was taught, what I learned. You know what I'm saying? But salute from the mill, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one.